You spy that column of smoke? God damn it! Make haste!
As the Clayton estate appeared from behind a tree line, the Queen and all in her retinue knew at once they had arrived too late. A veritable swarm of bandits milled about the yard.
Who have we here? Not take a gander, lads. The Queen herself has deigned to come and see us.
See you, then kill you.
The strays of Sparla. 'Tis you who lead them. 'Tis you they call the Duke of Dogs.
Aye, 'tis I they dub so. And in other pleasant ways. Prince of Pariahs, Thane of Thieves, Baron of Brigands, and Marquess of Mendacity.
Colourful titles all, yet you omit one. Common cutthroat!
I beg your pardon and cry foul. I am anything but common.
You needn't get excited, Caldwell. Where is Lord Clayton?
Sadly, my lord's no longer with us. Turned us away, you see. Denied us hospitality. A sacred right, after all. Angered the gods mightily, I expect, as he promptly met a tragic end. Fell in the well and broke his neck.
I've heard enough. To arms! Attack!
What say we throw this queen a ball?
Can't take it anymore.
Ha! Ha!
Yeah, yeah!
One boat's all I need.
Well, well, my congratulations.
I smell a leak.
Stand back! 'Tis some alchemical concoction!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Go, hop, hop! Aye.
Ah!
We got a job to do. target. Give me a target.
We'll catch 'em all!
Our ballista, your command.
Bravo, Your Grace. Well played.
I can't say the same for you, I fear. You'd have done better to die in battle. Bound for Lyria now, where the hangman will have his way with you.
Splendid! I've ever wished to see the capital.
Quite certain of yourself, you seem.
Many afore you have braided nooses for me, Your Grace. Yet as you see, my neck's straight as a pike.
My threats are never hollow. And if it's an escape you weigh, well, we've yet to see any man abscond from the dungeons of Lyria Castle.
I'd hope so. For to be known as second just wouldn't be worth the trouble.
Take him away.
As soldiers placed the Duke of Dogs in shackles, there was a sudden commotion. A messenger rushed in, sweaty, gasping for air, smelling of smoke and blood. His gaze spoke terror.
Your Majesty, Graces, Nilfgaard's crossed the Yaruga. Black-clad hordes. Villages burn. Folk lie murdered.
Nilfgaard! Gods help us!
They march for Dravagrad. Prince Willem, he can't hope to arrive in time with aid. Help us. You must.
Dravagrad. Blast it all. Listen close, soldier. You're to take a fresh mount, ride hard back to your commander and say the Queen comes to repel the foe.
Your Grace, begging your pardon, our force. We aren't many. Let's send for reinforcements first, elsewise...
Reynard, I've seen Nilfgaard's trebuchets at work. Should we delay until we're stronger, they'll leave no stone standing in Dravagrad. We must ride for the town at once.
As her men prepared to march, Meve climbed the manor's tower. Smoke rose in columns in the distance. As more black pillars appeared one after the other, she knew they meant another home, another barn, another mill was in flames. Tears welled in her eyes, yet they were tears of anger.
Bastards. If it's war they seek, it's war I shall bring them. Reynard, prepare to ride!
First bandits, now this. Misfortune does indeed come knocking twice.
In hobnail boots, tramping upon my land. Nilfgaard shall regret this. I swear on all that is sacred and blessed.
Page late. Again.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads. Arbalist to your command. heart's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
What do you want of me?
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. Aye. Armor won't say.
Take it anymore.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Suddenly, Meve's force found itself marching straight towards a Nilfgaardian company. To the Queen's surprise, the invaders did not immediately assume battle formation. They proceeded instead in her very direction without a sign of panic. The man leading the Nilfgaardians was clad in rich robes. He exuded pride and the scent of musk.
I am Trahaern var Vdifir, Your Majesty. I was asked to present your esteemed grace the ultimatum of the forces of the Empire of Nilfgaard.
The envoy cracked the seal on a scroll, unfurled it, took a deep breath, and began to read.
I, General Ardal Ebdahi, demand the immediate and unconditional surrender of Lyria and Rivia. Elsewise, I will burn down every city, town, village, and temple, place all your subjects in chains, and your armed men, defeated and captured, I will hang along the roadsides as a warning to all others in the barbarous north.
As the final threat echoed in Meve's ears, the envoy put away the scroll and stood waiting for her answer, a mocking smile on his face. He allowed himself this insolence, believing the immunity accorded diplomats would shield him from any form of royal ire.
His Excellency speaks true. We Nordlings are barbarians, without exception,
answered the Queen. Though her voice was calm, most of those listening shuddered inside.
We neither hold nor honor the standards of the civilized world. Among them, the immunity of envoys. At the...
This is savagery! Barbarous! Do attack an emissary!
Ah!
Again and again and again. Paid late. Again.
My lady, your majesty, you must stop this!
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
One boat, all I need.
The envoy's escort crumbled beneath the onslaught of Meve's Lyrians, who grabbed the emissary and brought him before their queen. Robes torn and head blooded, he no longer exuded imperial pride.
Your Grace, what would you have us do with this pompous arse?
I want him shackled in iron collar and manacles. To the capital we shall take him. And in the castle dungeon, he shall taste of northern hospitality.
The envoy's jaw opened, but no sound, no protest came forth. The Queen's irate stare drilling into him, he simply swallowed audibly. Traherne var Fetifir, usually silver-tongued, remained utterly silent the rest of the way to the capital.
Give me a time. Our ballista, your command. Armor won't save.
Then one day, gazing towards the horizon, the Queen spotted Lyrian banners whipping about in the wind.
At long last,
She said with a smile. Meve resolved to speak with the commander, one Baronet Eldar. It was the first time they met, and the youth very much impressed her. Yet instead of questioning Eldar about the foe's troop movements, Reynard took the conversation down a seemingly irrelevant path.
And how's your father, if I may ask? In good health, I hope?
Yes, though he still nurses that bump he suffered while hunting last winter. Yet he's not one to complain. I'll tell him you asked.
Irritated at the trivial nature of the conversation, Meve gave her horse a dose of her reins and cantered off. Once Eldar and his men were safely behind them, she took Reynard aside.
Reynard, this is no time for gossip and pleasantries. We are at war.
Yes, Your Majesty. And in such times, little should be taken at face value. Even a man's name.
Get to the point, Reynard.
Eldar's father died a month past. His son, I venture, should have known as much.
But that means... Oh, the bastard. Impeccable accent, though.
I fear he's rather representative of what we face. Nilfgaardian spies are ever well prepared.
Tell me, how did you know?
He wears no mourning on his armor. Were it not for that, I dare say I might never have guessed. What are your orders, Your Grace? To observe these Nilfgaardian mummers?
Assemble a force. Tell them to follow our new allies. Observe them closely.
As you wish, Your Grace.
Reynard's scouts did as ordered, watching the false Lyrians while themselves remaining unseen. Soon after, a scout returned with news that the false Lyrians seemed headed for Rastburg, a castle several leagues to the north.
House, barn, granary. Blackclads burnt it all down. Begged 'em, my lady. On hands and knees. They just laughed. We offend their emperor some ways, Your Majesty.
What the devil is going on? Where are our reinforcements? Why does Willem not ride out to face the foe, relieve besieged towns?
I can't say, Your Grace. We haven't had a...
Beware, my lady. Keep a keen watch. Heard the thunder of hooves from the high road. Cries ferocious in a foreign tongue. Your Majesty, what of Prince Willem? Where is he? Why's he not come to relieve us? We'd had omens, oddities that foretold this war. Blood in the milk, stillborn foes, trees withered of a sudden, and I lost me tooth in a sweet bun. Your Majesty, what of Prince Willem? Where is he? Why's he not come to relieve us?
Meve's retinue was riding through a narrow gully when a shrill cry cut the air.
En van in order!
The gully came alive, and soldiers in black armor rushed forth. A cry in turn went up and down Meve's ranks. Ambush!
Defensive formation!
Scrubbing duty again? Oh, gods. New orders? No? Ah.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Help!
To thee, Nitloir! Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am. Alba!
Our ballista, your command.
Rach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Off to the front yet again.
Kommissar will hear.
A highly curious case.
Pays late. Again.
Ice in tray!
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Egreto dum anime est. Pes.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Can't take it anymore.
I want them taken alive! I need answers!
After the skirmish, the Queen's troops brought several Nilfgaardian prisoners before her. Reynard, who had the best command of their mongrel tongue, interrogated. His first question? How many battalions were marching on Dravograd?
Kes, Zagdran, ep Dravograd, ven.
The prisoners whispered feverishly, then one spoke on their behalf. They would answer no questions until the Queen pledged to free them in return. The Lyrian soldiers saw this as arrogance and said as much.
Conditions they're giving us now? Sons of whores! I say, we find a tree with a strong bough, several...
Ignoring the objections of her retinue, Meve pledged what the soldiers wished. They, in turn, admitted their commander had pushed forward ahead of the army's core force. He now awaited reinforcements that would let him take Dravograd. The prisoners claimed these units would march through the village of Turnifen.
To lay there in ambush. Hold them. They could not join forces.
Reynard whispered, leaning in towards the Queen.
We would gain the advantage for the decisive battle.
Meve had obtained invaluable information, while the prisoners would gain their freedom. Or so it seemed at the time. The Queen listened closely to the prisoners, nodding many times. Then she simply said,
Hang them!
As they were dragged away, the prisoners shouted, protested, cursed the Queen, to exactly no avail. Meve simply could not risk their betraying her position as easily as they'd betrayed their commanders. That day, Meve demonstrated she would show the invaders no mercy. The Lyrians marched off, strengthened in their resolve, prepared to fight to the death.
Blackclads trampled my son, your majesty. They saw him walking along the road. They didn't slow, not one bit. My lady, I've nae much, but I'll gladly give me last coin for the cause. For vengeance. Blackclads think us less nor dogs.
Army's a waste of time for one like me. Left, right, left, right.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. Give me a target. Our ballista, your command.
For Rivia!
What do you want of me?
Again and again and again.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Armor won't serve. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
time I taught you some respect.
Aye.
Can't take it anymore.
We must trust each other.